Hello, Modified Rabbit here. Pardon if you hear my dog in the background crying and stuff. He's old and he's a little overweight and he's on a new little diet and he doesn't like it. He wants more foods. I have him on new diet food and stuff, and you're only supposed to give him a certain amount, and he's used to having a little more than that, so he keeps going to his bowl and whining at me. So yeah, that's out of the way. Uh, I really I'm not keen on feeling like I need to have this kind of conversation, but with the whole like Ethan Klein thing and whatnot, one of I've expressed my opinions and comments and stuff like that for that kind of thing, and on Twitter and everything like that on his apology. But like one of the YouTubers that I really like watching, which is Def Noodles, posted a video today, and it was extremely biased, and it was just so dismissive of everything that people are having problems with on that podcast that everybody's talking about. And I just was like, wow. um I'm not only disappointed, but this topic specifically has affected me severely throughout my life. Um, and so it's like, and it involves the LGBT community and, like conservatives, as he was trying to fearmonger at the end of it, to try and shift our attention to, other things instead of Ethan, which was disgusting, honestly. But like, conservatives are really going hard on LGBT community right now, and going for us, and saying horrible things and stuff like that. So like, this is a really bad time to be joking about stuff, if stuff was a joke. But like, Ethan took it farther to where he was mocking. Like, there's a difference between making little jokes and stuff just by yourself and whatnot, and then actually like actively mocking a community while you're taking callers on it, and your people watching you, your subscribers, are telling you this is not appropriate. You continue to mock it. And then, not only that, you mock the caller and say mean, nasty things about them or to them or whatever, and then tell anybody that has a problem with it to F off and all that good stuff. Like, the person that. And then you make a half ass apology on Twitter, and then you make a really half ass apology on your next podcast, making excuses. Oh, well, I'm attacked all the time and I was just in a bad mood, burr, 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 oh, blah, 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 blah. I don't think I said that when, or did that, like mocking that caller's voice, which, that Dan dude definitely freaking did. um, but it's just like, it wasn't an accepted. Neither of the apologies were good. They're just fake, because he lost at least 10,000 subscribers just within, that short amount of time or whatever over this issue. And, he's doing damage control, and he was doing it poorly. Neither of them could even look at the screen when making that apology. Anyway, back to Def Noodles. I'm extremely, extremely disappointed in Def Noodles because, again, like that super bias with Ethan. Like, normally I agree with a lot of stuff that he says, and even with Ethan and stuff like that, and stupid Keemstar and all that junk. It's just like, I agree with a lot of that, but like this time, like, and he tries to claim that he tries to not be biased and stuff like that. Oh, he was definitely biased with this. Like, I've watched a lot of like drama channels, or even like Philip DeFranco and stuff, that are actual like little news channels, and they're where they talk about this topic, and they actually show the offending stuff. Def Noodles took stupid clips that had pretty much nothing to do with the whole ordeal, and weren't what people were angry about, and stuck those in there as if that's what people were mad about, and then just called them jokes. Oh, you can't make jokes, blah, 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 blah. When, like, there were some really awful things going on in that podcast, and there weren't just jokes being made. So, yeah, you could probably maybe be like, oh, he was just joking about the whole bottom thing and stuff, and blah 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 blah, and it's like, okay, whatever. Even with that, again, bad time to be making those jokes. And oh well, it was James Charles, and while I freaking hate James Charles and think he's a predator or whatever, like, it's, to me, you don't go after something that involves a whole community of people that you don't intend to actually hurt. For someone, you go after that person for the bad way that they are. So it's just like with, I don't like, I think her name's Caitlyn Jenner or whatever. I don't like her, but I'm not going to make fun of her being trans or whatever, because I'm not transphobic and I'm not a jerk to trans people in general. Now, I definitely would say nasty things about the nasty things she's done and why I don't like her, but it will not involve her being trans. So I take that the same way with any other community. I don't make fun of, people of color for being people of color just because I don't like one specific person of color, like one specific person and they happen to be a person of color. Like, if they're doing something nasty, then go after the thing that they're doing that's nasty. Like, don't, oh, if you want to make a small joke about James Charles ordering diapers, okay, fine, but, like, don't go after the gay community by making jokes as if all bottoms need diapers and stuff like that. That's just freaking rude, Like, just don't do that. That's rude. You're, at that point, you're not even making fun of the person you're trying to make fun of anymore. You're making fun of a giant community of people that, watch your show and stuff. And then, like, so there's that whole ordeal right there. So if you want to blow that off, whatever. But then you go on to the caller. And he was mocking that caller over this issue. And he was, doing exactly what that caller was like, hey, you shouldn't do this. You can't judge, a gay man by how he looks and all that stuff. And then Ethan goes straight into judging him by how he sounds. And you listen to me, you look at me, and most people do the same exact thing Ethan did. And it's disgusting because it's affected me my whole life. And at some point when I was younger, because I was bullied because of this stuff, like, I didn't like myself. And, like, I like overdid it on trying not to be how I was, enjoying the things that I enjoyed, sounding how I sound naturally and stuff like that, because people made false assumptions about me. And, like, I've had multiple people just assume I'm fully gay, and I'm not. I'm pansexual. But even after telling people that, because of they're judging me how I sound and look, they still assume that, and they push that onto me. And it's the same with the whole bottom top thing. All the people that I come across think I'm a bottom, and it comes, that mocking isn't just that. It comes with, those types of comments of, oh, well, you're the girl in the relationship, as if, one, being a woman is, a bad thing or something, but two, like, you're implying that men can't enjoy effeminate things, can't like certain things, can't sound a certain way, and all that stuff. But anyway, get back to that. I am the more dominant one in my relationship. My partner is very scruffy, a very manly man that people couldn't usually tell isn't straight, like completely straight. Which, looking at me, yeah, you can probably tell I'm not completely straight. But also, again, there's plenty of straight dudes that look like me and are very pretty. So, again, you can't really judge. And I'm not totally gay either. So, but, like, my poster is falling down. But, so my partner is the more submissive one in the relationship. And he's, like, I don't really like to talk about my own sexual stuff, which, again, this part of the issue is that our sexual lives are being, like, invaded on. People are, like, getting to talk about our sexual lives as if it's okay, when if you went and did what Ethan did to this caller by going to a woman, going, hey, what positions do you like during sex? Hey, what, like, all that kind of stuff, he would be seen as extremely creepy. And, like, I don't think, well, I would hope that Def Noodles wouldn't be defending that. But, it's a gay man, so, it's okay, because that's become a thing for straight people to do. is to, mock gay men for that or make little jokes about it. There's no instance where I've come across a straight person making these kinds of comments towards a gay man and it being a good thing. It's always been in a mocking, joking manner or even a really mean manner. And even in the LGBT community itself, at least half of the times I've heard it, it's been negative. So, there is no explaining this away as something lighthearted and okay and funny and blah, blah, blah. It's nasty and it's not okay. And the way they treated that caller wasn't okay. He kept saying gross things to that caller, mocked that caller, and then wouldn't let him talk, didn't want to understand where he was coming from, which he was making some very good points. And then after that caller, they continued to mock him, say nasty things about him, and then, seeing the audience that pays your freaking bills saying this is wrong, holding you accountable, your whatever Dan is, just telling them to F off and being rude and then mocking that caller's voice. And there's no way around it, him saying, oh, I wasn't doing that. I was just making a funny voice. No, you were specifically making a gay man voice that I've seen many straight dudes do when they're mocking a gay man. They do that. Even in the LGBT community, like other guys or people that aren't, don't have that typical flair to their voice, use that voice to mock guys that do, and that are assumed to just be bottoms and all that junk. This isn't okay. And Def Noodles, is defending that. And not only is he defending that, he's actually actively trying to minimize the whole ordeal by playing clips that weren't what people were mad at, avoiding playing the actual clips that everybody else is actually playing because, that's the actual story, and then trying to fearmonger and, push your attention over to conservatives as if you can't hold one person accountable while holding others accountable and stuff like that. And it was fear-mongering because they're attacking the gay community. I would hope that you're at least going blah, 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 blah. Stop it. This is not okay. And I unsubscribed because it was bad enough for me to do that. Because, one, that's just even if I hadn't been affected by this kind of stuff throughout a lot of my life and still affected by it, even if I wasn't, I would still unsubscribe for this because this isn't just being biased. He's actively trying to push this aside by using very dirty and disgusting tactics that he has gone after other people like Keemstar and stuff for, and rightfully so. So I hope that he, gets criticized for this and that he actually realizes that he did fucking wrong and that, he actually makes a good apology for it and doesn't continue to back Ethan over this and actually gives some criticism over that, because there was no criticism. It was completely and utterly 100% bias, and it was just gross. And shame on you, Def Noodles. Shame on you.